Hey everyone, welcome to episode 58 of AI-GTM Talks. My name is Iyer, and I know many of you are joining us for these weekly talks. We kicked this off, over a year ago. We bring on either AI-GTM tech CEOs or revenue leaders who are transforming their organization using AI for go-to-market, or we bring in really deep subject matter experts who can help us understand what's happening. Um, we have a wonderful speaker today with us, Riyaz Hyder. Thank you for joining us, Riyaz.
Thanks for the invite, Bunny. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know we have some amazing content we put together. You and I have done a couple of prep sessions. The topic for today, folks, is a decision framework for AI GTM. Another way to think about it is, what is the cost of being wrong when it comes to AI GTM projects, initiatives, and so on? Riyaz has some, really interesting insights in this whole area. We're going to get into all of that and more. Riyaz, I know you currently lead growth and strategy at Cognitos. You're going to be getting into a lot of that in your presentation. So, with that, let me stop sharing, and maybe Riyaz, we can quickly tell people how we're going to do kind of the discussion here between us. Um, you have some amazing material to share. Number one, I know we have about three different demos you've got of different projects, initiatives, things you guys are working on at Cognitos. But you've taken the time to put some content together. So let's get into it.
Oh, Bunny, really appreciate the kind words. And in fact, when we
Yeah,
started discussing,
yeah,
talking about AI GTM, we talked about feeling like kids in a candy store right now, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like, I don't want to give away my age, but when I started my marketing journey, I remember waiting 7 months for a server to have a
yeah.
microsite up.
Okay,
So
okay,
that was a time, but today marketers are, we have the ability to build things as like we don't depend upon engineers to ship. And that's a
yeah,
beauty.
yeah,
And building is such a joyous thing. But I'm also realizing that, we have not, as organizations, we've not built a muscle to really understand what to build. And
yeah.
that is what I think, during a conversation that came through. And when we
Right,
discussed it, I thought it's an
right,
important thing.
right. Not just what to build, but should you build? Should you be
Exactly.
building? Yeah,
Exactly.
right, right.
And this is again, this does not even just apply to marketing alone. It actually applies across all the AI projects. But yeah, this is
Yeah,
something a lot of organizations don't have because everybody wants to build because building is so easy. They don't
yeah,
factor in the maintenance, the long-term building. The again, you look at the velocity at which the LLMs and models are changing. Right? How do you keep
yeah,
that up? So there are a lot of
yeah.
questions that needs to be asked.
Right.
Again, when you're actually going to make this decision. But thank you, Mani. You actually kind of got the topic in, so I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, so let's put the material up. Folks, just letting you know, there's going to be a few slides, but please be patient. There's some really good stuff at the back end of the slides, and I know, Riaz, you've even offered to share the presentation, etc. There's a PDF, so folks, if you're watching, if you're listening, you'll get to see all of that. So I think this is probably going to be the best. I call it appointment learning, for our audience. We get several hundred people tune in, so thanks, guys. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's get the material going. Thanks, Riaz.
yeah, absolutely. So let me share my screen.
Hmm.
Give me a second. So just when we think that we've actually kind of solved the problem of uh, figuring out how to kind of use screen share and Zoom, here we
It's
are.
going to work. It'll work. It just takes, I think, a little bit of a delay, but it should come up. But you
Absolutely.
can tee it up. Just tell us a little bit about. Oh, there it is. Decision framework for AI GTM, uh,
Excellent.
activity dressed as strategy, and yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, I think again, so going back to the same old. So when we started discussing, the first thing that came to my mind was, I wanted to showcase the what you call. I've actually built more than that, but at least top 10 AI agents that I built in the last 6 weeks or 6 months, right?
Okay.
uh, but then like after like once we actually kind of started discussing this through the conversation, I realized that it is not about what do I need to build. So we know how to wake up every day. What do I build today with using AI? Rather,
Hmm.
should we build it, and what is the actual business impact? And that is what we
Yeah.
want to cover. So I think for
Yeah.
this audience, and I've been a great listener, so I really like this community. You've been actually talking, especially when it comes to talking about adopting various technologies and how to adopt money. You've been actually kind of, flag bearer in that space. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate, you taking effort to kind of ensure that all of us are, being educated, and we have a
Hmm.
dialogue in platforms like this. So I really appreciate that. So for
Sure.
your community, I realized again, it's not about, I think the community that you have, they already know how to build agents and stuff like that. And
Right.
I realized it's about having a decision framework on what we should do for AI-GTM is much more important, and that's what we will cover today.
Got it. Got it.
Again,
Uh,
so I'll actually quickly go through, and thanks, Money, for the kind words, but I'll tell you why I'm actually talking about this. Uh,
yeah.
I like to introduce myself as an entrepreneur first who understands marketing.
Mhm. Okay.
The three lenses I usually have is with one of an operator.
Yeah.
I've been for more than 20 years. Worked with very large enterprise like HP and Samsung. But from
Yeah.
2007, when I started my first company, I've been with startups. So I do have a
Got it.
founder like well, and
Mhm.
I did have again. I actually kind of gone through the entire journey of zero to one to an exit, two exits. The last one being with Nutanix. Minjar got
Mm.
acquired by Nutanix. So I understand the founder's journey as well, and more
Yeah.
importantly, on the advisor side. And I think these three lenses actually gave me an interesting perspective about when again, as I said, I'm privileged enough to, again, first of all, the company that I work for, Cognitos, I'll actually cover them. That's a like deterministic AI platform for enterprise automation. So I have a
Okay.
like friend row view into what how automations are actually being built. The other thing is that
Okay.
as advisor, when you see 50 like smart startups try to address problems differently, you definitely see a pattern, and that is what I
Yeah.
will actually cover in the next couple of slides.
Okay. Let's do it.
So, a quick shout out to Cognitos. That's a company that I lead growth right now.
Yeah.
The CEO is a former colleague from Nutanix. So he was
Mm.
a CTO of Nutanix beneath. And
Mhm.
yeah, we've been actually kind of doing some great strides recently. We just won the most innovative AI product of the year award.
Okay.
We are the only startup in Gartner's hype cycle for finance, agentic, AI in finance. And
Okay.
similarly, we are also in the hype cycle for agentic AI. So a lot
Okay.
of good things going. What makes Cognitos different from there are a lot of other LLMs and agentic AI platforms, but what makes them
Yeah.
different is the deterministic aspect.
Okay.
Gartner calls. Oh yeah, you're saying something.
No, no, no. I,
No, no,
I,
no.
I get the
I
point
get the
about
point.
deterministic AI. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's also a misnomer, right? Because it's like it's called as neurosymbolic AI. So you primarily differentiate or you segregate the reasoning and execution. So that is what
Okay.
deterministic AI is about. Again, I don't want to kind of take up the entire time talking about cognitos, but if you are
Mm.
looking for, again, if you are a finance professional, if you are working on healthcare, if you need
Yeah.
agentic AI, this is the platform that you build. So you see some of the
Got
companies
it.
that are actually empowering them. So
Okay.
maybe I know that this is not I think a lot of people may not be able to raise hands, but feel
Yeah.
free to. What's the best way, Money? How can people, give us feedback on some of these questions that you have? What do you think?
Yeah, folks. Yeah, if you're watching, just you can go to my profile on LinkedIn, Money Iyer on LinkedIn, and we actually wrote up a post about this specific talk by Riyaz by you, and maybe you all can just type a response to these quick questions. But you have some interesting questions here, Riyaz. Let's go ahead
Yeah,
and post that. And I know we are also going to be posting a link to that LinkedIn post on YouTube because this talk is also being broadcast on YouTube. But yeah, please keep going.
exactly. So yeah, so I had this 5 questions which are supposed to be interactive. I know that you
Yeah.
will be doing this in LinkedIn, but these
Yeah.
are it's primarily to kind of understand the room that we are in, right? So,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna now rush through this because it does not really make sense for us to wait for a show of hands. But
Yeah.
this is actually leading to the framework that we have, right?
Yeah.
If you look at
Yeah.
like a lot of all of us are actually kind of building AI agents. We've actually used various automation tools. Many
Right.
of us are using an agent right now. We
Yeah.
have actually created few things, but the biggest question is number five.
Yeah.
Uh, are we able to articulate to the leadership or to the founder that in one sentence, what is exactly a business outcome of an agent? It is not a
Yeah.
number. Sorry, it is not, hey, it does outbound. It is not something that is, oh, it makes certain things easy. We want to have a very specific number. For example, it reduced onboarding friction by 30%.
Right.
Unless you do that, then it's more like a hobby project.
Yeah.
Now, we do all these things like for learning, but when you are a leader, like managing a team or a CMO or any functional leader for that matter, when your team
Yeah.
is actually building things like this, the question that you need to ask is, hey, are we prioritizing the right task, right metrics, and right goals? So that is where
Right.
this framework is going to come in. I'll actually go to
Got
my
it.
framework first. Yeah,
Yeah.
any questions, Money?
No, no, this is it. I call this the money slide, but yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Money slide, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
M
I think
M-O-N-E-Y money, but
I got
not
it. I get
M-A-N-I.
it. But it works both ways.
Yeah.
But very interestingly, I think, historically, we usually, when you build, a metrics or metrics like this, we look at
Yeah.
the axis that we talk about is value and effort, right?
Yes.
Or impact and
Yeah.
effort, depending upon which company and which cycle that you are on. But
Right.
in the AI GTM space, I think it is quite misleading
Mm.
because any project today looks very simple to start off with. Claude can make most of the projects like a weekend
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
It can solve any problems that you have, or most of the problems that you have when it comes to kind of content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we kind of and what that really has actually kind of propelled us to do is that we started creating a lot of agents and like, in my opinion, in silos as well. We create certain
Yeah.
things. Oh, guess what? This is what I'm actually going to try this weekend, and let me do that. We also
Mm.
forget that there is a larger fabric of the entire the stack that actually needs to kind of understand how customers are being touched, what are you communicating with them, and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that is where this particular framework really applies, because it's
Yeah.
based on two primary parameters, which is differentiation and reversibility. I'll
Okay.
explain differentiation first.
Yeah.
So differentiation is, is it something that my competition cannot build today? Is it based on my
Okay.
data, or is it
Mm.
going to give me moat? That is when
Mm-hmm.
the differentiation is high. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, then it is not there. So usually, if you're
Mm.
working on your own custom data and trying to get insights, it actually has high differentiation.
Right.
Reversibility is the other part. Many of the agents that especially that we do in marketing, again, to be very honest, they're experiments, right? And also keep in mind that the LLMs are actually changing really fast. There is a lot of them could be brittle.
Mm.
So who loses job when that actually fails?
Mm.
Or should somebody lose the job if it fails?
Right.
So if you were to build, you should build uh, those agents, which actually kind of you can actually roll back as soon as possible without having any impact on business or minimal impact on business. So that is the reversibility that I'm talking about. And if you look
Okay.
at this, oh yeah, when you're asking something.
No, no, I think that clarification really helped because I was also trying to understand what reversibility means. I think you just explained it, which is uh, if you had optimized, used an agent somewhere, if the agent goes away, you have a way to still do the same job, same task, but then it will be maybe more manual and human in the loop. But yeah,
Exactly.
okay,
And
okay,
so I'll actually go to the extreme right, which is when should you build? Again, as I
okay,
said, when if it's so I'll actually going to give an example of the mission control that I built, which is primarily
hmm,
inside for me as a function leader to understand my
yeah,
marketing is functioning. So that
hmm,
I can actually kill on Monday and actually still can go back to my SFDC reports and stuff like that. But at the same
yeah,
time, it is on my data, so nobody else can actually kind of build it. So if
yeah,
there is a differentiation out there, and it is also killable. It is not going to kind of
yeah,
like nobody's going to lose sleep over, but it makes my life much more easier. That is great, but at the same time, yeah, the business is not going to get affected.
got
But
it.
there are very specific projects like this where the differentiation is very very high,
Yeah,
but people are going to lose job if something actually kind of goes wrong. This is where actual GTM services partners need to be involved. And
okay,
like money, like you've been actually kind of doing some of this forever.
yeah,
So you understand the space much more better, right? So partnering with a partner who understands not just technology but marketing is also important. Another SI partner
yeah,
saying that, oh, guess what, I'll build this agent for you, that is not enough. You need domain expertise.
okay,
So I think talking to and getting a right partner with the skin in the game is how you do really differentiation with higher differentiation, but that has it is not reversible or just when you one day you wake up. So that is where you need to partner with somebody to do it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
going down again, if there is no differentiation and if there is no reversibility, something like a CRM, or even for that matter, something like uh, a database, or I
yeah,
think segment is a different thing altogether. I think CDP should change, but that's not something that we as marketers we need to build it within the company. So
yeah,
any, I think, foundational stack, we should not be actually touching it right now. And
yeah,
similarly on the other
yeah.
side, yeah,
No, so sorry. I was just going to add to what you said because I think this framework is a great way for, decision framework for revenue leaders, C-level leaders who've got resources. They have in-house staff. They have some budget. They could bring in some outside experts, some consulting budget to kind of think through where should I bring someone in, right? Where should I invest? I
exactly,
mean, this is exactly very valuable. And honestly, for us, I'll be honest, because we are the guys doing this, AI GTM managed service offerings for companies all the way from 20 million revenue to 500 million revenue. That seems to be the band where we've been, offering our managed service offerings along with our tech. We are also now realizing we need to be clear in our own mind and we need to have the conversation with the right person on the other side about are we a good fit? Do they have a problem, to your point, which is
yeah,
high differentiation and low reversibility where they can actually take advantage of what we have to offer them. So I think
exactly,
you're right on the money with this, but yeah, keep going. Yeah,
exactly. And then the other one is like, again, high reversibility. I don't, we can actually gonna move from Apollo to Clay, or Zoom, or Zoom Info for that matter. But the thing is that you should
yeah,
still, it's again, you just rent the commodity. You don't have to kind of, worry about actually building it. Again,
yeah,
if your team actually wants to learn the AI stuff, again, go ahead, but don't let that be the metrics that you track. So that's my recommendation on this.
got it. Yeah,
So
let's
as
keep
Mani said
going. Yeah,
earlier, oh sorry, Mani. So I'm just closing this. So as Mani said, I think you're absolutely right.
yeah,
The cost of being wrong is what determines whether you build, buy, partner, or wait. Simple.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, if
So
you have
you
any,
were next. No, you were going to get into examples now. Is that right? Of the ones
yes,
you've chosen to build? Yeah. Okay.
yes. So again, I don't. Yeah, I think let me skip the slide. Give me a second.
So we're starting with your mission control.
Yes.
The okay. So you basically,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'll show you a few things, and yeah, um, so this is a mission control that I built that I was actually talking about, right? So I built this over a weekend. This is actually a set of 10 agents running to look at my data, both internal, GA4, LinkedIn, Google Ads. And again, because it's my company, I actually kind of, just did some changes to kind of disable some of them so that there are no sensitive data. And I
correct,
just
yeah,
connected it to LinkedIn for so that, you can see what we're talking about. So
yeah,
if you, so these are the kind of projects I think we need to be doing. And how it makes my life easy is that I can actually come here and actually kind of chat saying that which ad creatives uh, perform the best in the last week. Um, so so this actually kind of and again, this actually does end to end for me. For example, from your LinkedIn advertisements to all the way to until the data that you have in CRM, or even the first party data that we have based on people actually trying like various tools and stuff like that. So yeah,
okay,
so it actually, so this is something that's based on my data, which is first so this is actually across all my systems. So this is an
okay,
example of good projects that we can build internally. And the good thing is that even if I take this off, nobody's gonna, again, as I said, it is not going to kind of break the system, because all this
yeah,
information is available in different platforms. I can go to LinkedIn, I can go to my HubSpot. HubSpot is my marketing automation tool right now, and I have my CRM in a Salesforce. So
mm,
we can go there and actually get this data. But this particular view gives me control, or it's like a command center. I know in one single pane of glass that I can actually kind of interact with it and get
yeah,
insights like this. So that is why I think the team should be building this.
got it,
Similarly, I think one thing that we also did is our website was completely on WordPress, and I think that's the first AI project that we. It's not an agentic AI, but it's primarily the AI project that we built that we did when we started off.
okay,
Um, we moved away, and again, WordPress is great. Again, I've been a fan of WordPress for a long years.
yeah,
But again, as I said, in today's economy and today's world, we wanted to be much more agile. We wanted to ensure that we are not restricted by themes and plugins that we
yeah,
have. So
yeah,
this entire website we switched over like all over a weekend,
oh
and
wow,
this entire thing is actually built on on Cursor, Claude, and Vercel. That's it.
okay,
uh, Actually improved like again, imagine being able to kind of tell Cursor, hey, do an audit of my website and look at the issues that I have with my schema. In a WordPress, the schema fixing would have actually taken 3 to 4 weeks of project, like of work. This is actually possible in, let's say, in an hour, and that is
oh,
what is possible for us to do.
okay,
Similarly, and this is again, this is not what I did. This is something that one of our HR person did, because again, we've been actually kind of. So he's like, oh, I'm actually good with few things. So let me, again, can we do something on AI agent? He's like, yeah, let's go ahead. And what we actually kind of discussed with him is that rather than actually, creating and marketing what you call newsletter, let's get inspired by TLDR newsletter and try to understand how do we engage. This started
okay,
less than I would say less than it's almost a month. Look at the subscribers that we have, and
okay,
we actually changed the entire format. And again, so what it looks like is, it doesn't sell. It is more information driven,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and there is a place where people can actually engage. So these are the some of the initiatives, and this kept outside of marketing right now. I think the I would say the sales funnel right now, because we don't want this to be a sales initiative. We
right,
primarily want customers to understand. We want to kind of really add value and be inspired by the news that is out there for all the people. So these are some of the initiatives I think we can. And again, killing it is not going to kind of create too much hassle for us. but at the same time, the
Yeah.
value it adds to my audience is significant, and that is what we are actually kind of building on.
Got it.
So
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, so these are some of the initiatives. There again, there are a few things there, and there are some projects that we have killed as well. Some of the GTM, we actually had in Slack, people can just chat and actually get create their collateral and stuff like that. But then of
Uh-huh.
late we realized, cursor actually, sorry, Claude actually does a much better job these days. So we actually killed it. So we
Okay.
should build agents that can be killed, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. So, if you don't mind, I would love to drill down on some of these a little bit more. So
Yep.
maybe we can start with the business operations center, command center that you first showed. Um,
Yep.
can you maybe get into a little bit into what are those different agents that you ended up building because they are useful for you as a revenue leader, senior
Exactly.
leader in your org? Yeah.
Exactly. So again, for
Okay.
me, so again, this is actually applicable for everybody, right? So what
Yeah.
are we doing right now? Like, do we have enough understanding of the share of voice, share of search, share of
Yeah.
volume, and then are we actually kind of talking the right language? And how are people discovering us? How and what are they doing on our website? So having all this information in one pane is where we started, but then it evolved
Uh,
beyond that when we started actually building, because it was easy to build. So initially we
yeah.
actually started off as a 4 agents. So each agent,
Yeah.
so for example, it's not just about me, anybody who comes in. So I actually can recognize, as I said, because of the sensitivity,
No, no,
I
that's
believe.
fine. If you can, right, no
Yeah.
problem. If you can go top down and just describe it for us, like, starting with the top one, like Nova. What is Nova about? What does it do?
Yep.
If you can just
So Nova is
explain
an
or describe the
orchestrator.
agent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nova is an orchestrator platform which creates. So when I have my one-on-ones with my CEO or within my
Yeah.
team, it actually kind of helps me create this one pager, which what I should be talking about. It's an orchestrator
Ah,
that I.
okay. Got it. Got it. So it's really a meeting prep, right? For anybody you're going to go
Yes,
meet.
exactly,
Got it.
exactly,
Got it.
exactly.
And the
What I did
next
not
one,
think.
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think a lot of us actually will know this. HubSpot and Salesforce, the leads are very different. A lead in
Okay.
HubSpot is different from a lead in Salesforce. And
Okay.
many a times, even though we actually kind of use tools like Workato, there is always a mismatch.
Okay.
We are throwing in AI agent to kind of figure it out. So if there is money Iyer in HubSpot as a lead, money Iyer is actually as a contact in SFDC, that gap is actually fixed by this. So it is the
Oh,
entire, I would say, it is like a marketing operations project, but it primarily kind
yeah.
of deletes the need for a platform like Workato, to be very honest.
Got it. Got it. And then
But it
what
doesn't
about
fix
if
it,
we
to be very
keep?
honest.
Yeah, if you
Yeah, go
can
ahead.
keep going, just give us quick one-liners on each of these. What is Flux?
Yeah.
What is Pixel? Yeah.
Yeah, Pixel is something that, again, I'm still working on the Pixel. It's where I wanted to be able to kind of create on-brand creatives. And again, as I said, we started off with creating what do you call on-brand newsletters and flyers and creatives. But this is the
Yeah.
way to. So this is still, I would say, work in progress. Maybe 80% there. I'm still not happy
Yeah.
with sometimes how the
Yeah.
probabilistic AI hallucinates on what your brand colors are. But otherwise,
Got it.
so this is still work in progress. And
Yeah.
this is regarding various partnerships that we need to do, which are the speaking opportunities that is coming up, what are the
Uh-huh.
conferences that we need to be. So that is what Orbit is about.
Yep.
And then like this is actually primarily, again, understanding who's buying AI, what actually are the searches that is actually happening. It's primarily
Yeah.
the research agent for me. It actually gives me signals.
Okay.
And now this is a campaign optimizer, again, because I disabled that. Even though we could search, that's why you're getting this error. So it's primarily kind of telling, specifically for LinkedIn, how campaigns are actually working. Like
Okay.
what, so what you see here, right? What the right side is actually coming
Yeah.
from here. So
Okay.
because, again, as I said, because of the sensitivity, I had to disable some of them. That's why it is like
Sure.
this way.
Sure. That's fine. Yeah. And then radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, so we're looking at, there are specific, again, it's part of our ABM, right? So we're looking
Okay.
at, there are some specific people and accounts that we actually were trying to kind of get more signals about. And
Yep.
this actually wakes up every morning and listens to any news and that other information that we have actually have about them. But that may be
Got
interesting.
it.
It could be a signal, it could be a sales activity signal, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. And Ghost.
And yeah, so this is again primarily to kind of try to see what competitors are up to. Uh,
Yeah.
so we actually, again, we're talking about building a category right now. So are there others actually kind of trying to kind of enter this specific category that we are talking about? Uh,
Yeah.
how are they actually kind of sounding different? It's primarily understanding your competition better. Um,
Yeah.
so it's primarily keeping your ears open in the ground, like ears open about what are the changes in the market.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then amplifying is actually about pipeline. Again, that's something that I'm actually still building. So what I want to do is that primarily look at what you call the signals to existing accounts, and then amplify that to, like, for example, can we actually send a congratulatory message to one of the contacts about a particular speech that they did, or some big win that they had. So it's primarily
Right.
it's like the pipeline accelerator that we are actually trying to build. That is something that
Yeah.
actually we are building right now.
Got it.
And this,
And all of these tools, you have a bird's eye view, but are they set up so that you can actually uh,
yes, so except
make sure
for
the right message goes from the right sales rep or the account exec
exactly,
or the oh,
exactly. So you look at this, right? It is in HubSpot. That's where the entire integration is. So if you look at each of them,
okay,
it'll actually tell you where is it coming from.
okay, okay,
So
yeah,
Ghost is from
that's
web search and LinkedIn ad libraries. Then
yeah.
Orbit is from, so it'll actually kind of tell you where exactly you're getting this information from.
Oh wow, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
In fact, some of the companies that I'm advising, they've been asking, "Hey, can you give it to us?" I said, "You build it. It is easy to build."
Okay. Okay. No, I think see this is the value of frameworks, right? I mean, the reason I'm asking you these questions is you've seen we have built this 11 layer AI driven sales automation framework because people we would go into customer after customer after customer and they're all trying to make sense of all the tech that they have and trying to figure out, okay, what is the process across all this tech to get something done, right?
Yeah.
So I think you've that's why I was asking these questions. So hopefully folks who are watching can also understand, how do you as a revenue leader, C-level leader, how are you thinking about all the areas where you need to stay on top of all the stuff that's going on? And I think you kind of have that over here. That makes sense.
And Mani, I'll give you another. So this has actually given me the confidence to go back. So you remember our discussion about CDPs and how it's going to be changed.
Yeah.
Imagine with this kind of an approach, a framework, and if you have multiple agent orchestrated, you are
Yeah.
talking about the entire attribution industry itself being disrupted. We don't need that anymore,
Yes. Right.
right?
Right.
You don't need to
Yeah.
kind of, hey, whether it's you attribution, last touch attribution, you don't have to worry about all those things.
Right. 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 Absolutely. I mean, we have one of our customers. They were super excited that now you can actually have very in-depth buyer journeys all the way
Mhm.
from who saw an ad to clicked on an ad and came to the website and did actions on the website, and you can analyze this data in so many new interesting different ways now, into down to a contact level, person level, company level, and
Yep.
understand, as you said, the buyer journey, and not worry about last touch, first touch, all that, not whatever people used to do. But yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So this is your business, command center framework,
Yep.
and so this is an example of one that you built that you felt was high value, high differentiation for you, easily
Yes.
reversible, and so
Exactly.
um, high reversibility. So so as you think about some of the other things you just showed, they all have a specific business impact you're looking for, right? So here, let's talk about, as you said, explain, give us the one line answer on business impact for you for each of these. So The command center for you, I'm sure it's saving you lots of time. That's for sure. uh,
Yeah.
Personally, is it for just for you, or do you also have other C level
You know,
leaders?
like, yeah, anybody in the organization can actually access that.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And
And
the thing
and
is that I'll tell you, it's also about, again, we always have this, false feeling about feeling like, or false thing about being in control, right? But at least this gives us like at least a visibility to where we are and what we need to be doing. And
yeah,
rather than actually spending maybe 1 hour in going in depth to maybe my what do you call LinkedIn ad account and stuff like that, I know, oh,
mm,
looks like these are the problems that we need to fix today. So it is more
yeah,
like it is telling me what to do rather than I have to spend 1 hour, 1.5 hours every day morning only to kind of
yeah,
analyze.
got it.
But again, having said that, again, because you just cannot actually take out the actual manual effort, because there is a lot of learning that people get by doing the stuff, like rolling up the sleeves and doing the stuff. So I don't recommend that you do only do this, but this is maybe for somebody it's a daily routine, but you should also continue to do that. So I'm not an advocate of just saying that, okay, let's just automate everything and you look at this and talk everybody and let the agents run. No, you should definitely go in on like, that's the frequency that you need to build. That's a discipline that you need to build within yourself
Right.
and within.
Got it. Let's go to this one. I'm again curious. How
Yep.
did you, applying your decision framework, the one we just discussed,
Hmm.
how was the decision made that you should move from WordPress to this new kind of Claude and Vercel approach? Because I'm sure many people watching are trying to figure that out. They have a website, they've got a huge investment in their website, and it's a huge, huge, huge strategic decision to make that
Yep.
switch. Yeah, explain if you wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I still have the WordPress staging environment right there sitting. So
Okay.
reversibility is
Okay.
not a problem.
Got
But
it.
again, it also started. Again, it's one of the first projects, as I said, right? I did not have the framework then, but I was actually very curious, and it was actually kind of push, like, our my CEO, again, he's a builder himself, so he's been the CTO of Nutanix, right? He's like, what breaks if we do something like this? Why don't we do something crazy? And moreover, we were
Mm.
actually struggling with, again, plugin issues, and we actually had, one day where we had issues with CDN and stuff like that. I said,
Yeah.
okay, and the changes that we wanted to bring to the website, we were actually working with an agency in India who would actually do they were great. But the problem is that the time gap that it took, and things like SEO optimization, schema review, those things were actually kind of taking a lot of time. Then
Yeah.
I said, hey man, if Claude can actually tell you the best practices, can we enable to do this? And that's where Cursor
Mm.
comes in, right?
Yeah.
And we just tried with Cursor so Cursor with Claude, and we started actually building one page and one page and one page. Like, oh man, this is actually kind of going really, really well. And said,
Yeah.
our religion, we actually just shifted. Yes, we improved a lot over a period of time. I think initially it was not as great as, I think it was not actually looking as good as it is looking right now. But yeah, but it was actually, yeah, overnight, like over a weekend, we actually kind of shifted to this and see, hey, let's see what happens. What worse could go? So this was not based on the framework, but this was based on the confidence that I had about reversibility. If something goes wrong, I
Okay.
could always go back to the WordPress. So that's what gave me
Got
the
it.
confidence.
Got it. So help us understand a little bit more because again, was this a major effort, big effort? I mean, was it you for how much of your time did it get? Did this take up, or the CEO? What your content, call it strategy folks versus other people you have to get involved, like doers in terms of on the design and visuals and content writing. I mean,
Very good question. Very good question.
yeah.
Content writing, no. Content
Okay.
was repurposed by Claude for the website.
Okay.
It did
Okay. The
everything.
old the old WordPress website came over to this Cursor Claude Vercel
Yeah,
website. Got it.
yeah, but it was not replication. It did not. We did not copy and paste. Claude
Yeah.
actually did a much better work of structuring the content, like how to kind of again, even again, a, a prompt like act like a experienced what do you call web copy writer who understands SEO and help me rewrite this content, that actually gives you a much better content than a lot of time that we, because many a site, it, right? A lot of website, a lot of web pages are actually usually built by different people at a given at different point of time.
Yes.
uh, so all those things actually got solved. So I think
Ah,
the content was there was I think it's pretty much AI generated but human reviewed. That's the
got
difference.
it.
You definitely got
Okay.
it reviewed.
Yeah.
The second thing was the layout. Layout, it's only the brand colors actually remained. Pretty much layout and even the communication style changed a bit. So
Hmm.
look and feel is what we like. It's primarily kind of, hey, look at this, and we created this page based out of what you call the WordPress page that we have, but we
Okay.
reimagined the layout and stuff like that. So initially, the design team was also not involved
Yeah.
because I my feeling is that initially because it is too much for a design team to kind of really start understanding, hey, the fast changes that we are actually doing to that we're doing to the website. In fact,
Yeah.
only after like almost like 1 month of like production and fine tuning, now the design team is actually coming here and actually cleaning up, making it look even better. So
Ah.
kind
Okay.
of spending, for example, I can show you. So this is
No,
something
no.
that the
I got it. I got it. I think that's what I just want some clarification for the audience who are watching and listening,
yeah.
right? As to, how do you how do you make that decision and who comes in, who gets involved? But this seems to be one of the bigger ones where you actually took a bet that this is worth doing, because that's the one many people struggle with. Um, Moving on then, because I know we have a few minutes left. What about the next one? Did you have a similar approach or process for some of the other projects? The big newsletter project, again, you said was pretty lightweight, right? There was no
Yeah,
impact as such.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It is lightweight, but very high impact as well. So we wanted to
right.
kind of, again, as I said, we have an amazing person who actually kind of been actually leading the HR, but who's very familiar. He's been anyway
Yeah,
doing a lot of outreach to candidates, and he said, "Hey, why don't I do something like this?" And it was actually
got it.
built using Open Cloud, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
he built this like created a list of people that we want to reach out to, and rather than just reaching out for the heck of it, we said, hey, let's not sell anything, let's focus on building a community inspired
Yeah,
by things like TLDR. And it's also about how do we engage them, how do we ask right questions. So
yeah.
for me,
Is
it
this,
is a topmost
if you don't
priority
mind,
matter.
is
Sorry.
this a roundup of industry news, or is it more
Yes.
about your product stuff? Okay, it's a roundup.
Yes,
Okay,
it is. It is pretty much. It's pretty much about the industry news rather than about anything about us. So you look
okay,
at this,
makes
right?
sense.
So you look at SAP just so if you I can actually open one of this for you. So
No, no, no. It's fine. I think, Riyaz, in the interest of time, we have a couple more minutes. I want to, maybe you go back to some of the summation you had, right, in terms of the decision framework and how people should think about things, and maybe we
yes,
can get into your presentation, and yeah, we can wrap up.
yes. So can you see my presentation now?
Yeah, yeah. So
So this
this
is
is
some
what
of
you
the things
built.
that
We
we
already
built.
covered this. Correct.
Yeah, and it's also some of the things of what we don't build, and that is where
Ah,
and again, uh, so moment we actually are seeing the success, like, oh, let's go ahead and do this, let's go ahead and do this, and I said, and that
yeah.
is why it was important to kind of create that framework, at least mental framework internally, what we will not do,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right.
again, it's like, for example, everybody says, we have, why hire an SDR? Why don't we actually kind of build an AI SDR? We are anyway an automation platform. Why don't we do something like this? Again,
Yep.
that's where the decision frameworks actually comes in. And a custom
Got it.
layer, like the thing is that HubSpot, and we use HubSpot as marketing automation, and we use uh, SFDC as a what do you call, as a CRM. Now the thought
Yeah,
process is that, hey, should we just replace HubSpot and do
yeah.
something like this? No, that is not possible today, right?
Right.
And that is
Yeah,
not our priority. The moment I do this, then I need to kind of really question what business I am in. So
yeah,
again, is it doable? Yes, it is doable, but that is not the business that I'm in. So
yeah.
I need to, so that I need to be true to the metrics that I'm going to be looking at for my business. So that's why it is not done. It's a big pain
Got it.
point, but a pain point does not mean that I'll do it. And that is where
Mhm.
I think I need to kind of, collaborate with someone like, you money to kind of get a partner to build all those stuff in an agentic
Yeah.
motion. So this is not something that I want to build myself or my team want to spend time building.
Yeah. And then this pretty much sums it up. I think we talked about a framework that's high differentiation, high reversibility, and kind of aim for those, right? And then you had that whole four quadrant slide. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well here. And you're saying, what should I do that AI now makes possible? And,
exactly,
and
exactly.
okay,
Rather than what should I do with AI today? I think I see that a lot today. Like a
yeah,
lot of people like, hey, what can I do? What can I do? It's not of what you
yeah.
can do, right? It's about like
What
what should
what
you
should you
do?
do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Which can be done by AI, not the other way around. AI can do a lot of
Okay.
stuff, but that's I think that's a maturity that I think organizations will get very soon. Because at the end
Got
of the
it.
day, again, as I said, a kid in the candy store, possibilities are
Yeah.
endless. We can build anything that
Yeah.
we so the novelty of building is gone, and there's a lot of joy in building. I know it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
into my
Riaz, I'm going to put up a thank you slide and with your contact information. Maybe you can let people know. If you can stop sharing, I'm going to share my screen and
okay,
let people know how they can get in touch with you. Yes.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think. Oh, you want me to read this out? Okay, that's fine.
No, I mean,
So
you're right. I mean, they're good with people reaching out, LinkedIn, email, both are
absolutely.
good. Yeah.
I'll be absolutely email or LinkedIn. I'll definitely look forward. It could be about,
Yeah.
again, if you are actually kind of looking at, hey, specific questions about how you build agents and stuff like that. If you want some help there, please feel free
Yeah.
to reach out. If it's about, cognitos, about, if you're actually struggling on finance or automations and stuff like that. Okay, that should also be
Yeah.
fine. So anything that works
Yeah.
for you. So you have my contact details. And I really want to thank Money for this
Yeah.
opportunity again. Thank you for building
Yeah.
this community uh,
Yeah.
because we are in that phase where we need domain knowledge and the actual practitioners who can get stuff done. So
Yeah.
what you're building is of a lot of value. Money, I really appreciate
Yeah.
your efforts in building this community.
Thank you. And that concludes episode 58, folks, of AI-GTM Talks. We talked about a decision framework for AI-GTM projects. Thanks, everyone. And thanks